all for tuning in to us this Wednesday, and it's just going to be a beautiful time. So we call today's topic Unbundling Love. Yeah, I see you. Iweka Samson. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Same as every other person. All right. We said in February, we're going to talk about unbundling love, because this subject matter called love is one of the most important things in life. See all my real people joining on. I believe you guys, man. Thank you all up for showing up. I really appreciate all of you on this live session today. Okay, so this thing called love is one of the most popular subject matters in the whole wide world. It's one of the most interesting matters. It's at the same time one of the most confusing matters. It's at the same time one of the most misunderstood, misrepresented. It is responsible for a lot of great things. It's also responsible for a lot of troubles. Okay, why? Because when you don't understand it, then you don't know how to use it. And when you don't know how to use it, you see a lot of issues, you see a lot of problems, and things tend to start getting troublesome. Okay, so that is what we're talking about this month, and it's going to be beautiful. And I sincerely desire and pray that every one of you will get it right in this subject matter. You will get it right in your love life, in your relationship life, in your family life. That is why we are doing what we are doing. Okay, there are a lot of errors out there, to the extent that people begin to think it is impossible to get it right. People begin to think it is impossible to have something sweet when you're talking about love. People begin to think love is just full of ups and downs and problems left, right, center. That may have been the experiences you have seen so far, but it is not all that there is to love and relationship and marriage. Okay, that is why we are doing this, because we know that a lot of people need hope, need encouragement, need advice, need instruction, need direction on the right way to go. We see a lot of things, and really it breaks my heart when people fall into some ditches and some mistakes that could have been avoided if only they had found someone to guide them, or to sound an instruction down their ears. So that is why we're doing all what we're doing, as a matter of fact. Okay, we want to shout it out loud. Let as many who can hear it. And those of you who are hearing it, feel free to share it. Feel free to reverberate the sound. Let more people in your own space hear it. Let people in your own sector, in your own world, let them hear it. Let them experience it. Okay, why? Because if we keep quiet, more people will be making mistakes by the day. And you will feel bad when you know that you could have done something about it, but you didn't. You'll feel bad when you see people going down with errors that could have been avoided if you had just whispered to them or told them how to do things better. Okay, so you want to save yourself of that feeling of guilt and responsibility for someone else's terrible experiences. And one way you can save yourself that guilt is to just sound out wisdom to them, or introduce them to a platform like this where they can hear truth about love and relationship. I would not stop shouting this out, as long as the Lord gives me breath. I will make sure I'm committed to guiding and helping people to get it right in this subject matter, okay, called love, marriage, relationship, and family. All right, so that's what we're doing today, unbundling love. And when we speak about unbundling, I choose my words quite carefully. A bundle is like a bunch of different items, okay, clustered together as one. Okay, different things together, it's a package of things wrapped together, and for those of you who are used to harvesting or buying plantain, for example, in bunch, okay, you see that there are several of them connected to the same stem. All right, so it's a bundle, it's a bunch. or sometimes some of you put all your keys together in one place and you call it your bunch of keys, meaning that there are several individual items, okay, which have been put together to form one whole. Okay, now when we say we are unbundling, it means that we're going to be taking out each of those items one by one until everything stands alone for what they are, okay, and you're now able to see that's common grounds where everything was connected to. There's some noise in my environment. I hope it doesn't disturb you, but we will just try and continue nonetheless. Okay, so unbundling love. Love, I've heard all manner of definitions of what love is. I've heard all manner of definitions. And as a matter of fact, if I tell you all to define what love is, I'm also sure that everybody would have something to say about what their understanding and thoughts about love is. Okay? And really, if you wouldn't mind, feel free to drop your comment, on what love is to you. Okay? You can feel free to drop it there. As we go ahead, I may read up some of them. If not, I may not, but feel free to drop it. Let the interaction just continue there. Okay, so to unbundle, like I said earlier, it means that we're going to unpack the individual elements one by one that make up this thing people call love. What exactly is it? Okay, what are all the different ideas people have? Let's see how much of them we can gather and then begin to treat them one by one, tear them piece by piece until we'll find what they are individually, and then what is left of what we call love and what it really is. Okay, it's my prayer that this will be a lot of enlightenment to you and will save somebody from further mistakes in their love and relationship life. Okay, so there are several ideas. In fact, there was a survey that I stumbled on, and I just tried to pick up like the top 20 definitions people gave on what love is. Okay, but you see, the fact that something is misunderstood, or better put, the fact that something is misrepresented, it means that there is something original that it is. Or let me put it this way: if there are fakes, it means that there is an original. Okay, you can only have an imitation of something that already exists. Okay, so if I should use an example for those in Nigeria where you use the naira, okay, the highest currency note right now is 1,000 naira note. Okay, you cannot see a fake 5,000 naira note because there is no original 5,000 naira note. The fact that you see a fake note, it is of a currency that already exists. So what I'm saying is that if people are misrepresenting love, it means that there is an original idea and concept that love is. Okay, if there are imitations of love, it is because there is an original. But what happens is that many people don't know the original, never had the opportunity to understand the original, but they received the fakes and the adulterated versions, and they kept running with it. And unfortunately, every time they ran with it, they had issues. They keep having issues, and they just think this thing is impossible and there is a problem somewhere. Okay, so I see some people dropping their definitions. Thank you so much. We'll come to it as we go ahead. Someone says love is a choice, love is consistency, and love is commitment. Thank you so much for that. Another person says love is what you have in your mind that you can feel. Okay, I didn't get the last part. All right, so no problem, just keep dropping it as we continue. This is going to be a series. Okay, so it's going to run through the month, and it is because we have to take our time to just touch it easy and step by step like that. Okay, so I put down some notes just to guide my thoughts. Okay, so occasionally I'll be reading from them. Okay, just so that I'm guided, because if I'm not guided on this subject matter, I will just shoot everywhere at once. So I want to follow a pattern. Okay, so I was saying something. There are popular opinions of love as presented especially in the movies. Okay, now the thing is, the movies have a way of instructing culture, influencing culture. Why? Because everyone watches the movies. Okay, so we see it in the movies, we see it in musicals. Arts, entertainment, media are one of the principal ways that cultures are formed and are communicated and are taught. So what happens is that when you watch a musical where you're talking about love, there's a kind of depiction they give you. Okay, it stays in your mind. When you watch a movie, there is a kind of depiction they give you. It stays in your mind. When you hear people gisting, when you watch a soap opera, when you watch anything that tries to present love, an advert, there is a kind of picture they depict to you. And most times, what is it like? Oh, guy sees girl, feels like, oh, she's beautiful. Or girl sees guy, feels like, oh, this guy is super cool. You know, there's an attraction. They look at themselves like this, like that. You know those things that happen in movies where once you just see them looking at yourself, you say, oh, yeah, kiss now, make una kiss. We know you want to kiss, go and kiss. Kiss the kiss, yes. You know, because once you see that look, you're already primed to know that this is a look of affection or lust or attraction, as the case may be. And the next thing that would almost always follow is, oh yeah, lock mouths together and start cleaning each other's teeth and tongues. All right. Why? Because that is what the media wants you to perceive as love. Okay. But then you see that most times those things are beautiful at the moment, and just down the line it starts becoming all messed up. Issues start coming up here and there, and you're wondering now, but I thought I loved you, I thought you loved me, what is all this? And you even hear people say, yes, I love him, but we cannot be together. I love her, but no, our differences are irreconcilable, but I love her. Are you getting it now? So what exactly is going on there? Okay, so the media and the movies have sold to us an idea of what love is. And this is what I believe happens, okay? They don't know better. They know an aspect or an expression or a tiny little area of one of the things that are found in love. But because it is a very beautiful feeling, they go ahead and blow it up, and everybody begins to look at that as love. Okay, but what happens? Imagine you have a product. Okay, you are the creator of a product. You know exactly what purpose, what function it was made for. But then, you know, and your product is also globally accepted. People use it everywhere. People love it. But then all of a sudden, you're watching on the news, and then you see that there is this other thing that looks like your product. As a matter of fact, takes the name of your product and is also being publicized and advertised. In fact, they are even putting up somebody else as the owner of that product, and then they are describing everything this product does, and it is a deviation from what you originally made. Now you're going to feel very bad. You're going to feel like somebody has stolen my idea. Somebody has stolen my product. I'm going to sue. I'm going to fight it legally. I'm going to go all out to correct this mess. Why? Because the original idea you had and the vision and purpose you had for that product is being hijacked. I believe that is how love feels. When love sees what people are doing with it and what people are saying about it, love is just so when they cry, saying, no, I am more than this. This is not all there is to me. No, I'm better. This is not me. No, don't do that. You know, but it's just hijacked. And to the extent that when you start telling people what real love really is, they begin to look at you as weak. They begin to look at you as you don't know what you're saying. You haven't seen it. That's why you're saying that. You know, and they begin to present true love in a manner that makes it look less of itself and less valuable and less important. Why? Because what has been popularly accepted is a version of love that is interesting and exciting, but yet it's not the main thing. Okay, now that's just an illustration for you to know that there is an original love. It has different expressions, it has different characteristics. Those characteristics come together to form what love is. But if you isolate some of those expressions, you would have errors in your understanding of love. So let me move on very quickly. Okay, let me share some of from the survey I was reading up. Let me share some of the different examples or definitions people gave about love. And then when I finish doing that, like my style is sometimes when I'm defining certain things, I start by defining what it is not. Okay, so that in removing what it is not, that's part of the unbundling we are talking about. Okay, in removing what it is not, we are able to focus and find what exactly it is. All right, so let's do this together. Some of the definitions people give or descriptions people give about love. Someone says love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Intense feeling of deep affection. Beautiful. Okay, I will come to all these things gradually, or as we go on, you will just see how they will fall aside to their respective places. Another person says love is a great interest and pleasure in something. Great interest and pleasure in something. Another person says love is messy and complicated. Another person says love is a most secure feeling. Another person says love is indescribable. Interesting. Another person says love is a force that when it happens to you, you lose absolute control of yourself. We are coming to that. Okay? Another one says love makes you weak, vulnerable, and gives people an opportunity to take advantage of you. Well, I'm not giving any rights and wrongs yet, but as we continue the explanations, everything will fall into place. Okay? Someone says love is a sentiment. It's not a sentiment you're not able to characterize by words. Another person says there is nothing like love. Love is what you say it is. We are coming. Another person says love is respect. Okay? Where both parties in a relationship understand the commitment they are making to each other. Okay? Another person says love is being in sync. So when you are in sync, when you connect, that's love. Okay, let's go on. Okay, I think I've mentioned some of this before. Commitment, vulnerability. Again, another person says it's a feeling that takes control of you and you cannot control or help it. It just takes over. Woo! I will stop there for now. Wow. I've missed a lot of conversation on the chat. But let me move on. Okay? Let me move on. So when we have sessions like this, I want to really encourage you. Have an open mind. If you hear things that don't sit well with you or that you're uncomfortable with, don't just wait it off and say, you're the talk nonsense. You don't know what you're saying. No, don't do that. Hear it. Keep it somewhere in your mind. Don't just discard it. Because as a matter of fact, we grow in truth. We grow in understanding. There are certain things you think are right now, but as you begin to grow in knowledge, you discover that, they are wrong. Okay, there are certain things you think these are the best versions of them, but as you begin to proceed in life and knowledge, you discover that, they are even improved versions. So why am I saying this? If I say things that are unpopular or sound controversial to your understanding, don't fight it. Just take it in somewhere, keep it somewhere. Or better still, you can ask a question either here on the show or go onto the DM and leave me the question. Or you can even schedule a one-on-one session. I also do that where I coach and counsel with people on these matters of love, relationship, marriage, family. Okay? Why am I saying this? So you should be open to learning. When things are not what you expect or sound different from what you're used to, seek to learn more about it. Seek to investigate it further. Don't just throw it away. Don't just discard it. Okay? Seek to find out why this person said what they said, where they are speaking from, and then just do your own findings. You will be shocked. that along the line you may also come to agree with what you initially did not agree with. Okay, so another thing now, from the different definitions I read, one of the things you would see is that people generally define life according to their own experiences. Yes, Iweka, you can drop your question and then I will come to it just towards the end of this session. Okay, so you can go ahead to drop the question, but I'll come back to it. All right, now people define life according to their own views, their own worldview, according to their experiences. Okay, so you discover that when you tell 4 people to describe a particular concept of life, they would most likely give you 4 different definitions or perspectives. Why? Because each of them will relate to that subject matter from what they perceive or what they understand and what they have experienced, and has shaped their opinion or has shaped their perspective about life. Okay, now what happens is that to be able to unify or get a universal answer, you may now need to, as it were, isolate all of those people from their different experiences and probably see how then they would define this thing. Now, I'm saying that because if somebody has been hurt by love, and you tell him to explain what love is, he's going to tell you that love is a terrible thing. Love is just that thing that messes you up. Somebody who has enjoyed sweet love all their life will tell you love is a beautiful thing. Like someone said, don't get it twisted. Love is a beautiful thing. Okay? Yeah, someone says many of us in Nigeria don't know how to love. Yeah, we will come to it, because you need to even know what it is to know how to express it. Okay? And then you would also, from the teachings, you would also be able to look at what you have been doing and what you have been expressing, and then you ask yourself, how much of love is this? Okay? So, whenever you read about love, ancient scholars have divided it into different things: eros, storge, philia, or I don't know how to pronounce some of those names, and then agape. Okay, and well, as we continue, I will explain what each of them represent. But first of all, in defining love, I want to first of all define what love is not, so that when we eliminate what it is not, we can spend more time building. We can spend the remaining series in the month building and unfolding what exactly it is. So I'm going to jump straight into what love is not. All right, and as I'm saying these things, if you find yourself or your opinion represented in some of the things I'm saying, then let it just be a wake-up moment for you. All right, first thing I would say about love is that love is not whatever you say it is. People say love is relative. What love is to me might not be what it is to you. That's being subjective. Love has an identity of itself. It is universal. Someone says it's not geographical. Exactly. Okay? It is universal. Love has an identity of itself. So, to say that it is whatever you say it is, no, you're not doing justice to it. Let me ask you, if you have a bed or a chair you sit on, that chair, is it whatever you say it is? That it is a chair here, does it make it a car in another place? Okay, your hand, is your hand whatever you say it is? You can just decide to change your hand to eye, and you'll be using your hand to see road. Do you understand? So you can't do that. When something has an identity, you better find out what it is, and not just think that it is relative or subjective to how you feel or what your experiences are. Your head, for example, is your head what? Is your head whatever it is to different people? Head is head is head. Okay? It is a head in Nigeria, it's a head in South Africa, it's a head in the US, it's a head everywhere. Okay? Hand is your hand, your eye is your eye. Anywhere you go. Okay, so these things have identities. The fact that you don't understand it does not mean it does not have an identity. So let me just say that love is not whatever you say it is. Love is something. We're coming there, don't worry. Okay? The second thing I would say love is not. Point number 2. Love is not just a feeling or an emotion. Okay? When people say love is a feeling you feel, sometimes even without hearing the rest of what they have to say, you already know that there's going to be a challenge with this person in his experience of love. Why? Because feelings are temporal. Feelings are not permanent. Feelings come and they go. Feelings are not the real thing. Yes, there are feelings and emotions of affection and attraction and pleasure in love, but the whole concept of love is not pleasure and attraction and feeling. But there are elements of those in the bundle. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So it's just like saying, I tell you to define, I ask you what is bread, and you say bread is flour. Flour is not bread. Flour is used in making bread. Okay? So when you isolate feelings and say that is love, that is like saying that loaf of bread that you eat is just flour. Flour is just one of the things used to make it. But in the mix, there are several other things. There's margarine, there is sugar, there is there are several other ingredients you put into baking, and then it becomes bread. Okay? But if you isolate just an ingredient and say, okay, this is what it is, then you're going to be mistaken. So that's what happens when people say love is a feeling, an emotion. You are already about to get it wrong. Why? Because it is more than feeling. There are feelings in love, but love itself is not feeling. I need to explain that. I need to establish it. I need to drive it down your throat. Okay? And that is why whenever you say, oh, you are in love just because of how you feel, perhaps this is why several of your relationships don't work, because they have been based on feelings. Feelings are the result of external happenings. Let me tell you what feelings are. Feelings are interpreted by the signals that come to your body. Okay? From your eyes, from your ears, from your nose, from your mouth, from your skin. In other words, the things that interact with your senses, with your humanness. So for example, a guy sees a very beautiful girl and he goes, wow, she's fine. See shape. And his mind begins to work. When he says that, when the eye sees it, it goes to the brain says, wow, this is beautiful, exactly what you like. And it starts secreting those juices and those secretions that make you feel excited. And you start saying, wow, I want this one. Ah, man, I must talk to this girl today. I must collect her number. Chai, see, babe. Body go just they sweet you. Now, what happened? Your elements, your senses got in touch with a signal. It was sent to the brain, and the brain starts interpreting, what you saw, and begins to secrete those hormones to make you excited. Okay? Now, that was a good experience while it lasted. But what happens if you spend some time to know this same person that you said was a very beautiful lady, and then maybe you get close to her, and then you discover, or you just try to do a little background check on her, and you discover she's a serial killer? What's going to happen to all of that excitement you feel? If you're a normal person, all that attraction will turn to fear. And you rather want to escape from that person than run towards that person. What happened? The same brain has received a different signal this time, and it has secreted a different set of hormones, and then your response is different. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Feelings are just temporal. Feelings get affected by whatever happens in your day, whatever your senses get to interact with. Those are the things that form feelings. Okay? So that excitement will suddenly disappear. That attraction will suddenly differ. When you see the person, they say she's calling you, you run away because you don't want to die just yet. And now that I'm saying this, I'm just reminded of this is a little of what our conversation is about, but let me just say it. All over the news these days, we begin to hear and see all manner of terrible atrocities that young people, children, teenagers are getting involved with just because they want to make money. We're seeing and hearing about lots of ritual killings, kidnappings and all whatnot. It is very deplorable. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's just sad. I'm trying not to get into this, but it just shows that we have a lot of work to do. Now, let me tell you the part that really bothers me. Okay? Those days, what you call fraud, 419, used to be done by adults. When an adult commits fraud, you hold him fully responsible for his decision because he's a full-grown person. He's a free moral agent. He took the decision with the full awareness, with full consciousness. Okay, what bothers me is how people who are still supposed to be under their parents' houses and tutelage, and people who are still supposed to be learning the fundamental things about life, are now also getting into fraud. It is terrible. It is wrong. And it further goes to show, among other things, the failure of the home front. People are no longer taught values. People are rather overtaken by hunger, and they forget everything good they ever knew about. People start getting desperate. People start comparing themselves with others. People start wanting to be to blend, to be among, to feel like the big boys. They say you want to, what's that thing? You want to bam, you want to roll with the big boys. You want to, it's just crazy. And young people are getting into all kinds of mess. Now, why does this really annoy me? Because the people we call the future are the ones that are now being messed up. Imagine somebody in his teenage getting into fraud, and not just fraud, getting into ritual killings. Anyway, I won't stay too much on this. Let me move on. But then think about it. Think about it. You young lady who just wants to wear the expensive things and want a man who will spend money on you. You will leave your boyfriend that has a decent job and is sending you 10k, 5k, 20k. You will leave that one and start pursuing small boy that is driving Benz, that did not work hard for this money, that is a questionable source. Just because he's going to give you a money iPhone 13, bone straight hair or something, just because of all this rubbish. You forfeit everything you know about values. You forfeit everything you know about dignity in labor and respect for human life, and you forfeit all of that, and you just jump in because you want to be among. And then what are we seeing happening? Small girls are being slaughtered, are being killed, their vital parts are being removed to be used for rituals and stuff like that. Please, whatever you can do to stop this madness, please do something. You need to do something about it. Talk to the people around you. Talk to the young people around you. You need to start mentoring young people. You need to start letting people know that there is this thing called process in life. You will get there eventually. Take it one step at a time. All right? Don't jump the stages. No, don't jump the process. No, don't do that. Stay true. It will come to your turn eventually. Okay, that's just a diversion, and I just thought it was necessary to say that. But it actually relates to what we're talking about, because a lady who's in a decent relationship might fashy her boyfriend who does not have enough money to spend on her and run after one boy who looks very flashy, and then few months down the line she becomes the object of his wealth. So it still boils down to what we're talking about. Okay, it still boils down to this relationship talk. It still boils down to what you call love. Because somebody comes and deceives you with love and you run with it, or you even deceive yourself that you're in love and you run with it, and then you just meet a Waterloo. Anyway, God forbid, it's not for anybody on this platform, but please, what you need to do is sound a warning. Talk to the young people around you. People need to take life easy. People need to take life easy. Calm down, you will get there. Follow the process. Okay, there are still legit ways to make money. There are still legit ways to success. Let me just quickly come back to my conversation. A lot of time is gone. Please, pardon that deviation. It was necessary. Still on what love is not. Okay, we have said two things that love is not. We said love is not whatever you call it. It has an identity, and we'll come to that. We've said love is beyond a feeling of pleasure and attraction. It is beyond feeling. And we said every time you try to go for the feelings, you're going to make errors. So just imagine that instead of consuming a full loaf of bread, you decide to consume any of the ingredients that was used to make that loaf. So instead of consuming bread, you just gather the flour or the dough after it had been, mixed with water and stuff, and you gather the dough and you say you want to just eat that dough. You're not going to enjoy it. Why? Because it is only when everything is mixed in their right proportions and the process is observed that fruit that you enjoy, that outcome that you enjoy, is only then you appreciate it. That is what happens. If you go after the ingredients, it's going to be sour in your mouth. It's going to be harsh to your taste buds. But when you wait for all the ingredients to mix properly and have a holistic view, then you would appreciate what love is. But running after feelings is like running after the ingredients in your food, and you would not enjoy them. Okay? Another thing that love is not temporary. Some people say love comes and it goes. Okay? When people have this kind of understanding about love as something that is transient, it also means that they are interpreting love as feelings. It is feelings that are transient. It's feelings that are temporal. They come and they go. But love is not. As a matter of fact, love is eternal. Love lasts forever. Love is unbreakable. Okay, some people will say, what are you saying? I've had heartbreak. Calm down. When we get to all those ones. Okay. Somebody say, I've been hurt too much and I can never love again. No, don't get to that extreme yet. What is happening to you is that you have experienced love, or you have experienced expressions of love that were hurtful to you. When you experience true love, you will appreciate it. What also happens some of those times is that you were deceived by your own senses, how you felt. Okay, and you thought that was love, and then you jumped in thinking you were going into something permanent, and then it crashed. Love is not temporary, it's not transient, it is permanent, it is eternal. Love lasts forever. That's what the Bible says. We're going to come to that. For time's sake, I need to run. I think I have about 3 or 4 more to share. What love is not self-centered. Love is not selfish. And if you sit on this point and expand it as much as you can, and you begin to see all the different expressions of selfishness in relationship, then you will see why certain of your relationships failed. Because most times what people call love are self-centeredness. That's what they are experiencing. You tell somebody, why do you want to be in a relationship? She says because she wants somebody who she can talk to, who can make her happy, who is there for her, who meets her needs, who does. Wow, that is selfish. And guess what? You're never going to find that person. Why? Because the person you're looking for also has needs and is looking for somebody to meet that needs, or those needs. So what happens is, even if you find the person and the person begins to be everything that you want him to be, when you're going to have problems is when he's also expecting you to be what he wants you to be, and you're not giving that. He begins to burn out. It doesn't last that way. And a lot of people are guilty of this. I talk to guys a lot and I hear amazing things that people are thinking. You just think a girl is there to meet all your needs, emotional, sexual, just there for your use. No, she's not an item. She's a human being. It amazes me. Somebody is quarreling with his girlfriend because she doesn't wash his clothes. What is wrong with you? Go and get a housemaid or get a washing machine, for goodness sake. She's not your washerwoman. People are quarreling because she's not coming over to cook. What is wrong with you? Marry her. Let her live in your house and cook for you. Selfishness. I called you, you did not answer. Why did you not answer me? Rubbish. What if the phone was not with her at that time? What if it was silent? I heard a guy say one time, no matter what you are doing, when I call you, you must excuse yourself and take my call. You must take my call. If you don't take my call, trouble. Rubbish. Another rubbish. If she's in the board meeting with her bosses, she should excuse herself and take your call. The problem is, even when she now takes that call, you now start asking her stupid questions. Where are you? What are you doing? Who is there? I'll put on your video. Let me see where you are. Rubbish. Selfishness everywhere. Love is not selfish. It's not self-centered. And how do you know something is self-centered? When all that the person does, he wants to be the center of attention and attraction. You want everything to revolve around you. You want everything to happen the way you want it, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it. You just want everything to be the way you want it to be. You get back to the house, there's food left for just one person. You don't want to know who else has eaten or not eaten. You eat it because you are hungry and you should be fed. Self-centered. You call someone, they don't pick. All you're thinking of is, he's avoiding my call. Why are you not thinking, what if he's not able to pick? What if he's in trouble? You see? Self-centered. This is one of the reasons relationships crash. Because from the beginning, all of them got in thinking of what the other person was going to be doing for them, thinking of how the other person was going to make them complete, thinking of how the other person was going to meet their needs, thinking of all the sacrifices the other person is going to make for them. I know of a guy, when the girlfriend is sick, he doesn't give her any care. Instead, he says things like, hey, my friend, you're an adult, stand up now. Why are you behaving like this? Stand up. Meanwhile, when he's sick, you will see big baby in the house. That's selfishness. That's selfishness. When it concerns you, you want the whole world to stop and pay attention. You want everybody to come to my aid, I'm dying here. But when you see other people in that situation, there is no iota of concern or empathy or anything done to help them. You see what I'm saying? Selfishness. It has to be me. It has to concern me. I have to be affected before it is important. Okay? Let me move on for time's sake. So, as a matter of fact, the opposite of love, the real opposite of love is selfishness. It's not even hate, as some people would want to say. Let me move on. Okay? So, like I said, as I'm describing some of these things, some of you will be finding yourselves in these descriptions. And you're seeing why your relationships have been failing. It wasn't love you were practicing. You were selfish. You were following feelings. You had the wrong mindsets to it. Let me move ahead. Okay? Now, I put down this point. So I said self-centeredness also includes acts of kindness that you extend towards people for the rewards you get from it. So somebody donates money so that they will know that I am the one that gave them the money. You donate money so that they will respect you. You donate money so that it will be said that this is the guy that donates money. You know, people are doing kindness, acts of kindness, but their motives are more self-centered. They're not concerned about helping anybody, but they're concerned about how those acts of kindness helps and feeds their ego. Somebody does you good, borrows you money, buys something for you, and you would never hear the last of it. After all I've done for you, do you know how much it cost me to get you that wristwatch? Do you know how much I spent on your head? I know where you were when I met you. I picked you up. I've changed your life. People do all of those things just to have bragging rights over other people. When you identify those qualities in your boyfriend or girlfriend, they are selfish. They know nothing about love, and if you stay long enough in that relationship, it will crash. Sorry if that was too harsh, but it is the truth. Anyway, and it's also part of the reasons people want to control their spouses. Selfishness. Where are you? Tell me where you are. No, don't go there. I don't want you to be talking to that person again. Don't talk to him. People cut, I'm sure you all can relate to this. People cut their spouses off other relationships because they feel threatened. I don't like the way you're talking to that girl. No, I don't like the way you're talking to all those girls. How can you say they're just your colleagues? How can you say they're your colleagues? What do you mean? The way I'm looking at you, there's something more. There's something more. Somebody had friends before you came into his life. Because he has met you now, all his friends should disappear. Guys do the same thing. Who is that boy? Why are you talking to him? I saw the way you hugged him. Are you sure there's not something going on between the two of you? Wahala. I don't want to ever see you pick his call again. Really? I don't want to ever. And these are people you relate with every day. You start you start seeing unnecessary tension. People had genuine friends before. Because they are dating you now, they have to cut off all those friends. Some guys even go as far as changing the lady's phone number and say, make sure you don't give anybody this SIM. They seize the former SIM and say, make sure nobody has this new SIM. Don't give anybody your number. And then the day by mistake, that phone rings. They'll say, but I told you not to give anybody this number. How do you expect her to go through life and not be in touch with any other person, just you? That is already abusive. And they will still mess up. That's selfish. If you are in a relationship like that, help yourself. Help yourself. This is the deliverance you have been waiting for. Help yourself and bounce. He is not about to get better. She is not about to get better. When people change, that change comes from within. Not just because, in fact, you see another act of selfishness. People even pretend to now be good just so that you will stay. They tell you, oh, don't worry, I will not do all those things again, just so that you will stay. Anybody who is trying to change because of you, please let that be a red flag. Be mindful of that, because it's not going to last. It's not going to last. He has lived all his life like this, then all of a sudden he met you. He says, okay, I will change now. Wow. If he wants to change, he should better start changing, and meet you in front. If he meets you in front and you have not yet been taken by another person, then that's better. But if not, don't be deceived by that. You say, I'm changing, you are changing my life. Hey, calm down. It's not changing anything. As soon as he gets what he wants, you see back that old self. We see a lot of these, We see a lot of these things, rather. Let me move on, please. So I said it is not self-centered. The next thing I want to say, oh my God, some of you are going to find yourselves here. All right? What are the ways of practicing love? Don't worry, I'll take note of some of these questions. Okay? And we're going to treat them. This is a series. Already I have like 7 minutes left, so I definitely can get into all of this. It's a series. Join us again next week. We'll continue. Join us next 2 weeks. We'll continue, and we would keep explaining all of this. Okay? So please, somebody help me with these questions. I hope somebody is taking them down, because I would need to treat them, especially in the question and answer session. The fifth thing that love is not infatuation. There's something called infatuation. It looks like love. That is what you see a lot in the movies. It's not love. What is infatuation? It's an English word. So let me give you the definitions from various dictionaries. Someone says infatuation, or one of the meanings that infatuation is an intense but short-lived passion or admiration for someone or something. Another one says it's an extreme attraction to someone. Okay? And one of the qualities of infatuation is that it is always short-lived. It is short-lived. And let me give you examples of this. You go to a new location, maybe you're on holiday and you travel for 3 weeks. Within those 3 weeks, you see one beautiful girl, or you're a girl, you see one cool guy. Oh, he's really everything you want. You know that you're going to travel away from that country in the next 3 weeks. And you know that the chances of seeing this guy again or even being with him don't exist or are very slim. But then you allow your emotions go full swing. I want him, I like him. You start going after him. At the end of the day, you guys have a nice time, you have the hot sex, you enjoy yourself, you have all the pleasant memories, but guess what? In 3 weeks' time, you're out. And then, what happens to that relationship? Crashed. It joins one of your exes. You try to keep in touch for the next couple of months, but for goodness sake, it's not just working. As a matter of fact, you have even forgotten about him. Why? Because he's no more in the picture. He has forgotten about you because somebody else has come in there. It was just a short-term thing, and you knew it was short-term, but you went all out. You see how people start counting scores and numbers of exes, because many of the relationships were not meant to be. Okay, example of infatuation is that your high school crush, that your secondary school crush that you never even had the chance to date or ask out, but you just see the person and say, hey, my heart, oh, I love this one, oh, I want. Or you guys even dated, but after SS3 you didn't see yourselves again. He died natural death. Okay, so it's an unreasonable attraction. It's unreasonable. You feel like, oh, this is the most important thing to me right now. If I don't be with this person, oh, something will spoil. Oh, no. That's infatuation. That's not love. That's what many of you find yourselves in, and you think, oh, love has taken over me. No, love has not taken over you anything. It is infatuation. You are infatuated by that person or infatuated with that person. And let me quickly show you 5 signs. 5 ways you know that what you are experiencing is infatuation, not love. 1, you see that person and you just believe this person is perfect. Within that period, there are no flaws. Oh, he's just a perfect gentleman. He even opened the door for me. Oh, he speaks very gently. Oh, he's nice. Oh, wow. Oh, there are no faults in him. Calm down, sister. There are faults. Calm down, brother. She has faults. You haven't just seen them, because you are consumed by that attraction. So that's one of the signs. This person is just all perfect. You can't seem to identify any area, any gray area. Be careful. Okay? That's one of the signs that something has happened to your emotion, and you have to guard yourself. Another point, maybe after these 5 points, I'll just stop because my time is really far gone. Okay? Another point, a pointer that you know you're being infatuated or you're having infatuation is you have persistent and intrusive thoughts. You are always thinking about this person. He's always in your mind. She's always in your mind. Okay, they can't seem to leave your mind. You close your eyes to sleep, the person is there. You wake up, oh, he's in your thoughts. Oh my God, oh, you have filled my brain. Oh, I cannot think of any other thing. When you find yourself in that state, what you actually need to do is to get a grip on yourself and call yourself to order. If not, if you allow that thrill to lead you, you are about to lead yourself to a mistake. Take note of that. Okay? You are eating, you're thinking of him. You are breathing, you're sleeping, everything. Oh, he's the one. No. Watch it. Okay? The next thing is you begin to drop every other thing for them. You're willing to give up other plans. You had planned before that on Saturday you go out with the boys, for where you cancel that one. You had plans before that you will go swimming with your guys, or you do this exercise, or you take this course, or you even said Saturday, I'm not going anywhere, this is me time, I want to just rest. You will cancel every other thing just for this person. Take it easy. It's not love you're feeling. It's a rush of infatuation. It's not yet love. Okay? Another point is you become jealous and possessive. Somebody you just met today, you see her taking a call and she's smiling and happy, and a guy is on the other end of the call and you're angry. Who is that guy? Is he your boyfriend? Why is he calling you like? See the way you're laughing. See how you don't laugh like this when I call you. You start getting jealous. You start getting possessive. She says hi to another person, you're angry. She shakes hands with somebody else, you're angry. That's not healthy. As a matter of fact, that's selfish. You see? So that is not love. Those are one of the signs of infatuation. The 5th point on this is that you start feeling tired and all alone. Once you're not around this person, you feel like, oh, your world is miserable. Oh, where are you now? I just want you to be here. I just want to hold you. I just want to be talking to you. Calm down. You are letting your emotions run too fast. Those are signs of infatuation. These 5 points I just shared with you, I got them from Symmetric Counseling. Okay, these are 5 ways you know that what is happening to you is infatuation, not love. Okay, if you have identified any of these, please learn from them. You are not yet experiencing love. Hopefully in the next class, I will go through the remaining 2 or 3 points I have here on what love is not, and then I will get into what love is. God bless you and see you again. God bless you. Bye.